So you've chosen to homeschool, but how on earth do you go about starting to choose a curriculum? Stick around. That is what I'm talking about today as I share 9 tips for choosing curriculum. Hi, I'm Rebecca, and welcome to the Parent Teacher Bridge, where you can find the ideas and resources you need to empower you to be your child's most influential teacher. And today I'm talking about 9 tips that you can follow to help you choose the right curriculum for your child, for your family. But before I get started, please click like and subscribe. And most importantly, comment below if you have any thoughts or questions along the way. Now, if you are new to homeschooling, you might consider clicking the link below to get my survival guide for the new homeschool family. I'll leave a link in the description. Now, choosing homeschool curriculum can be quite overwhelming. It's like going into an ice cream shop and having 200 different types of flavors. You have some things you like about this one, you have some things you like about that one. You may even be in the mood for one, but not in the mood for the other. It's just overwhelming, but it's kind of a good thing that we have so much to choose from and that we get to choose the curriculum. Now, these 9 tips today come straight from my Kindergarten Made Easy guide. So, if you have a kindergartner coming up this year, you may want to check that out. I will leave a link below. So, let's get started. Number one, there is no perfect curriculum. So, be prepared to make adjustments. You can waste so much time by looking and looking and looking and switching curriculum and switching curriculum and switching curriculum that you lack some consistency with your child. There is no such thing as a perfect curriculum. What works for one child may not work as well for the next child. And you may find that a curriculum may have like 99% of what you want and it's just lacking in one small area. The good thing is you are in charge. You are the teacher and you can decide how you may want to supplement that curriculum. Now, for my family, sometimes we supplement a curriculum by adding on maybe a learning app, an online service, documentaries, field trips, may even like purchase an extra workbook that focuses specifically on a certain unit of study. So let's say you don't like the way this curriculum does a particular unit. You can choose to skip that if you want. Remember that you are the teacher and you can make some adjustments. Here are a few examples. Teaching a lesson over a 2 to 3 day period instead of one day. Skipping a unit or a lesson that you don't like and adjusting the schedule. Number two, you can pick and choose a different curriculum for each subject. Now, if you're brand new to homeschooling and shopping around for curriculum is a little bit overwhelming to you, you may want to consider purchasing a boxed curriculum. And I would not judge you at all if you did that. A boxed curriculum would be something like, hey, this curriculum company sells all in one third grade curriculum, and it would have all the subjects you might need or want all together. And it would come, with several different books or manipulatives or whatever, but you would only have that one company's viewpoint of things. And that's fine for someone, especially if they are starting out and you don't even know yet what you want. I would go with that for the first year. And then as you look at the adjustments you are making, or as you hear about other curriculum word of mouth from another parent, then you may want to go more customized later on. The good thing is, whatever you don't like, you have the freedom to change. Number three is look for online curriculum reviews. This was incredibly helpful when I first started homeschooling because I didn't know that many homeschoolers. The ones that I met, I did go and meet with them. I did look at their curriculum in their homes, but it turns out that it wasn't a good fit for me, whatever it was that they were using. So I just jumped on YouTube and looked at various reviews, especially if they were willing to open up the book and flip through it. I really didn't care so much about the opinion of different people because I could know for myself what I wanted. But if they were able to open up the book and show me what I would be getting and show me better than, Amazon or some other service that sells the books, then I appreciated that. You can also go to websites such as KathyDuffyReviews.com. I'll leave a link for that in the description below, but it just goes in more depth on her opinion of different curricula and what they have to offer. Number four, just know that the curriculum might not fit your state standards perfectly. Now, most homeschoolers don't really care about this. There are a few homeschoolers who are kind of tentative homeschoolers and they're not sure yet if they're going to put their child back in school. So the state standards are very important to them. Just know that not every curriculum is going to fit those perfectly. They don't even fit the curriculum perfectly when schools purchase curriculum as well. And we know that a lot of the schools are actually teaching to the test. So just remember that you can modify, you can add to it. If you are one of those parents that you're not sure about putting your child back into school, or if your child is required by the state to have certain testing that the state does, then you may want to print off some practice tests just so you can expose your child to some test taking skills that they may do. But there is no perfect curriculum for that. So just adjust as needed, add a unit if you need to do that as well. Standards are not the end all. So if you're doing math with your child and it says that your child has to be able to give change back from a dollar, but your child doesn't even really have a concept of the coins and their value, you may have to stop, take a break from the curriculum, and either order a workbook or just do some real life practice with some coins in a piggy bank and learn how to count the coins, name the coins, and so on. Remember, parents, that you can get my free homeschool survival guide. It's called the Survival Guide for the New Homeschooler. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. But it comes with certain terminology that you may not always have easily explained to you, along with tips and encouragement. Number five, you can know the difference between a spiral curriculum and a mastery curriculum. I see this most often in the area of math. So, for example, a spiral curriculum is going to do a constant review. But I love the idea of a spiral curriculum because the child is getting constant review. So, instead of doing an entire unit on decimals and then you just leave it behind for a while and you move on to something completely different like geometry and shapes and 3D shapes and volume and stuff like that, then the next time they see a decimal problem, they may have forgotten how to do it. So for math, I like the idea of a spiral curriculum. My seventh grader is currently in a Saxon textbook. They're really known for having a spiral curriculum. But the other choice you can choose is a mastery curriculum. If your child is really skilled at math and they learn a concept quickly and it sticks with them and they're able to retain it, you may choose to do a mastery curriculum, in which case it would teach the skill really well and then it would move on to something else. Number six, you don't have to purchase a curriculum for every single subject. You know, during elementary school years, I never really purchased a science or a social studies curriculum. In fact, if your child is experiencing real world with you, they're going to get exposure to science and social studies topics. Now, I would probably recommend that you at least have some sort of list of topics or a list of units because that gives you an idea of what sort of things they can be learning about so that when you are in the real world, you can bring that an idea to that. But vocabulary growth in the areas of science and social studies is really important. And your kid is going to get that if you get library books based on from those certain areas of science and social studies. And also, if you have different documentaries that you expose your child to, they can write about it. So that's writing practice. They can draw about it. So that's kind of like art. You can even have some experiments that you do. But I've never even purchased a curriculum for science and social studies in the elementary years. Again, we all come from different states, so just be sure that you are looking at your state requirements because I can't speak for all the states. You can go to hslda.org for more information on that. As far as reading curriculum, I just purchased one reading curriculum one time, and that was just to kind of help give my son some fluency and something to do as school during the day. We purchased All About Reading Level 1. And we've just kind of kept it around for the other two kids to have. And I use it occasionally with some of my tutoring students, or I encourage parents to purchase that sometimes if they need a full curriculum on teaching their child how to read. But my children learned how to read pretty well, and we just gradually got more and more difficult library books. So they did not really need a curriculum for reading past that because I'd been teaching so much anyway. I kind of know some of the stuff they do in reading curriculum. Main idea with reading is, can your child read accurately? Can they tell you what they've read? Are they thinking about what they're reading while they're reading it? And are they able to answer some basic questions about it? If your child can, then maybe you don't need a reading curriculum either. Number 7, you may choose to finish the curriculum early or you may move it into the next school year. So, a couple of times we've been in between curriculum. Maybe I wasn't able to purchase what my child was ready for next, in which case I just found some practice material that I could print off for them or something else that they could work on. In the meantime, I don't necessarily automatically go to the next grade level just because they finished something early, because I just figure, wow, there's so many different things that they could learn and they could do deeper. Or if there's something that I feel like I've slacked on a certain subject area, then I can pick up on that and have time to enrich their learning experiences there. It's not about some sort of race or bragging that my child is this many grade levels ahead or anything like that. But that is your choice. You can choose to do that. And last year, my son got a math book that was gifted to him, and it was quite thick. It was for the next grade level up, but I thought, okay, well, this one was given to us, so we're going to use this. We're going to save some money. I will just adjust it. And instead of doing 30 problems a day, we'll do 15 problems a day. And so during his 6th grade year, he was used to only doing about 15 problems per day. This year, when we started back, I started in at 15, gradually moved it up to 20, and now he's up to 30 problems a day because he's in a math book that's for his particular grade level. And he needed to increase his stamina anyway. But that is your choice. You can spread a curriculum out over 2 years if you choose to do that. Number 8, expect to change curriculum at some point. For my family, my children used Singapore math through the elementary school years, and I was very pleased with that. But it only goes up through 6th grade, so I switched my oldest son over to Saxon math for now. And although I love Saxon math, I think the lessons explain everything really well. I love how it's spiral curriculum. I love so many things about it. However, I supplement with it. And some parents may find that they would rather do an online math curriculum because instead of their child seeing 30 problems in front of them and absolutely melting at seeing 30 problems, they may rather have their child do something like teaching textbooks online where they only see one problem at a time on the screen. So it seems a little bit less daunting to their child and they're able to focus better. Expect to change for one reason or another. Finally, number 9, meet with experienced parents who can share advice. When you talk to an experienced homeschool parent, listen out for things like, I wish I would have, or I regret this, or I should have done that. And make a little note of that. You may not be exactly in their same situation, but they have some wisdom that they can share, so listen up. Now, you can find these experienced homeschool parents in various social media groups. Sometimes you will find them at the library, at your church, and other homeschool gatherings. And it's quite okay to just approach someone who has an older child and ask them, have you always been homeschooling? Can I ask your advice? Do you mind telling me what curriculum you use for this subject? And so on. Most homeschool parents are wonderful about helping other parents along the way. Now, did I leave anything out? Do you have anything else to share about choosing a curriculum? Please drop it in the comments below, and I can always update this, right? And hopefully, my readers on my blog or my viewers on YouTube can read these comments and learn from you as well. Remember, parents, you are your child's most influential teacher.